Gojo. Gojo Satoru is one of the strongest characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, and his power comes mainly from two things: the Six Eyes and the Limitless technique. While the Limitless technique is amazing on its own, Gojo's real strength comes from his Six Eyes, a special ability passed down in his family. The Six Eyes give Gojo super sharp vision, allowing him to see anything with cursed energy, and even things that don't have any cursed energy at all. This ability is so powerful that Gojo was the only one who could sense Toji coming from behind him. The Six Eyes also let Gojo use his cursed energy very efficiently, so he hardly uses any energy when performing powerful techniques. This is especially important when combined with his Limitless technique. The Limitless technique allows Gojo to control space at a tiny level using cursed energy, which is really difficult. Without the Six Eyes, it would be nearly impossible to use this technique, because it requires such precise control and perception. The Six Eyes also give Gojo access to four of the most broken abilities in Jujutsu Kaisen. The first is Infinity, the neutral state of the Limitless technique. Infinity seems like the power to stop anything, but it actually goes deeper. It's the convergence of an unending series, meaning anything that tries to hit Gojo will never reach him, because Infinity divides the finite space between the attacker and Gojo infinitely. Gojo can use this ability 24/7, giving him unlimited defense. However, the technique isn't infallible. There are three ways to get through it: domain amplification, trapping Gojo in a domain expansion, or using a cursed tool with the technique stopping effect, such as the Spear of Inverted Heaven or the Black Rope. This effect is also possessed by Angel's technique, Jacob's Ladder. The next technique is Blue, which amplifies the Limitless technique and brings negative concepts into reality. These negative concepts, like negative distance, are impossible, but Blue forces space to correct around them, creating a magnetic effect. We've seen Blue take two forms, the normal form and the maximum output version, which Gojo used to destroy a courtyard in his fight against Toji. Blue can also be used to compress space between Gojo and his target, increasing his speed and force in the process, which has made Gojo the fastest sorcerer of his era. Following Blue is the opposite, Red. Red is the cursed technique reversal of Blue, meaning it has the power to repel. This technique is extremely destructive, but also very difficult to pull off, as it requires an understanding of reverse curse techniques and uses double the cursed energy of Blue. Despite this, Red seems to be Gojo's main method of attacking. The final piece of the Limitless technique is Hollow Purple, which combines the powers of Red and Blue to create both motion and reversal, resulting in imaginary mass that does massive damage to anything it touches. Hollow Purple is launched from Gojo's finger in a large beam, and while there's a common misconception that it erases everything in its path, that's not entirely true, as we've seen people survive it in the manga. In addition to the Limitless technique, Gojo can also use anti-domain techniques like Simple Domain and Falling Blossom Emotion. He's capable of using reverse curse techniques, landing black flashes, and performing his domain expansion, Infinite Void, which is a barriered, lethal domain that immobilizes opponents by overwhelming their brains with infinite amounts of information. This effect can cause brain damage after the domain closes and can affect both sorcerers and non-sorcerers for months after exposure. In the manga, we also learn that Gojo has the ability to restore curse technique burnout by healing his brain with reverse curse technique, though this is dangerous and has left him unable to cast his domain due to brain damage. Additionally, Gojo is capable of casting his domain in just 0.2 seconds, slightly faster than Sukuna. Recently, we've seen new applications of the Limitless technique, such as using Infinity to launch a building at Sukuna, curving Red around a building, and using Blue at the last second before landing a punch to make it even stronger. All of these abilities combined make Gojo an incredibly powerful and nearly unstoppable sorcerer. Geto. Suguru Geto's cursed technique, known as Cursed Spirit Manipulation, allows him to control cursed spirits, as the name suggests. To gain control over a cursed spirit, Geto must first defeat and exorcise it before consuming it, turning the spirit into small black and orange balls. These balls are described as tasting like an old, dirty rag used to clean up vomit. It's important to note that cursed spirits 2 or more levels below Geto are automatically exorcised, so he only needs to actively defeat grade 1 and special grade cursed spirits. The only exception is if a cursed spirit is in a master-slave relationship with another cursed user, as this relationship overpowers Geto's automatic exorcism. To bypass this, the original master must be killed. Once Geto gains control over a cursed spirit, his control is absolute, and he can command the cursed spirits to do his bidding and use their abilities as he sees fit. At his peak, Geto had over 4,000 cursed spirits in his possession, which he used to launch the night parade of 100 demons. During this time, he attacked Jujutsu High School in an attempt to defeat Yuta Okotsu and obtain Rika, the Queen of Curses, believing that this would give him an advantage over Gojo. In this battle, it becomes clear that Geto is not only skilled in cursed spirit manipulation, but is also an exceptional curse tool user with close combat skills among the best in the series. series. This fight also revealed Geto's maximum technique, Maximum Uzumaki. This technique combines all the cursed spirits in Geto's possession into a single attack, creating a high-energy, condensed blast of cursed energy. Additionally, Maximum Uzumaki has a secondary effect that grants Geto the abilities of strong cursed spirits for a one-time use upon activation. However, it's unclear if Geto was fully aware of this aspect of the ability, as we only see it explicitly used by Kenjaku, whom we'll discuss later. Sukuna. Ryomen Sukuna, known as the King of Curses, is one of the most formidable characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. As of now, the true nature of Sukuna's root curse technique remains a mystery, but we do know about two of its powerful offshoots, Dismantle and Cleave. Dismantle is Sukuna's standard slashing attack. It cuts with a single sharpness, making it highly effective against cursed spirits, inanimate objects, and weaker sorcerers. This is the technique Sukuna uses most frequently. The other offshoot is Cleave, which adjusts its sharpness based on the toughness of the target, ensuring that it can cut down even the strongest opponents in one hit. Sukuna primarily uses Cleave against tougher foes to defeat them quickly and efficiently. Notably, neither of these techniques are visible to the naked eye or to the eyes of other sorcerers, except for Gojo. Both Dismantle and Cleave are utilized in Sukuna's domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine. This is a lethal, barrierless domain that can extend up to 200 meters in radius. While active, everything within the domain's range is relentlessly slashed by both Cleave and Dismantle. Sukuna has the ability to specify targets within this range, ensuring that the appropriate technique is used on each target. The slashing continues indefinitely until everything within the domain is destroyed or Sukuna is rendered unable to maintain his domain. In addition to these abilities, Sukuna also possesses a technique known as Fire Arrow, which allows him to create and manipulate flames. During the Shibuya incident, these flames proved strong enough to kill Jogo and finish off Maharaga, and they can also be used at a distance if needed. However, the true nature of this fire-based technique remains largely unknown. Sukuna also has a unique ability to take over bodies by feeding one of his fingers to a victim. We saw him use this power to switch from Yuji's body to Megumi's. After taking over Megumi's body, Sukuna quickly mastered the 10 Shadows technique, which Megumi was known for. He subdued 3 of the remaining Shikigami: Piercing Bull, a bull that grows stronger the longer it charges; Deer, a deer that heals using reverse curse technique and neutralizes cursed energy; and Maharaga, a powerful Shikigami capable of adapting to any phenomenon, including Gojo's Infinity and Infinite Void. Much like Gojo, Sukuna is currently unable to use his domain expansion due to brain damage. However, unlike Gojo, Sukuna's ambitions and abilities remain as dangerous as ever, and he continues to be a major threat in the ongoing events of the series. Yuta Okatsu. Yuta Okatsu is widely regarded as the second strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu society, expected to step into Satoru Gojo's shoes if anything happens to him. However, while Yuta is incredibly powerful, he is not yet on the same level as Gojo or Sukuna, and even he likely doesn't consider himself in their league. Despite this, Yuta is something of a Jujutsu prodigy, having ascended to the rank of special grade with only 1 year of experience. This rapid rise is mainly due to 2 factors: his immense cursed energy and his connection with Rika. First, Yuta possesses an enormous pool of cursed energy, the second largest in the series, even surpassing that of Gojo. This vast reserve allows Yuta to reinforce his body far beyond what a first-grade sorcerer is capable of, enhancing both his defense and offense. The second key factor in Yuta's power is Rika, who is central to his cursed technique. Rika can act independently, following Yuta's simple commands, but her true strength comes from her connection with Yuta. When connected, Rika can store additional cursed energy for Yuta, which he can tap into during battle. Rika can also fully manifest to fight alongside Yuta, which can significantly change the course of a battle. When fully manifested, Rika grants Yuta access to another powerful ability, the Copy Technique. This technique allows Yuta to copy any cursed technique that Rika has in her arsenal. While the exact conditions for copying a technique are unclear, it is known that Yuta needs to see the technique at least once. However, due to the strength of this ability, it is likely that there are additional conditions. A popular theory suggests that Rika must consume a body part belonging to the original user of the technique, as Yuta gained Inumaki's cursed speech after Rika consumed his arm. So far, Yuta has copied techniques like cursed speech, sky manipulation, an unnamed Shikigami technique, and a mysterious arm technique. There is some uncertainty about whether this arm technique is a cursed tool that Rika can store, as it disappears after a domain expansion, suggesting it is subject to burnout like other techniques. Rika also has a second, more powerful form, where the will of Rika, powers her up. This transformation is marked by the opening of her eye, and in this state, she can fire beams of cursed energy from her eye. However, Rika is not invincible. The connection with her can only be sustained for a total of 5 minutes, and it's implied that she can be destroyed during that time, ending the connection early. In addition to Rika and his immense cursed energy, Yuta also has a domain expansion, though its exact nature remains unknown because it has never been fully revealed. Yuta can also use reverse cursed techniques to heal himself and even output reverse cursed energy like regular cursed energy. Overall, Yuta Okatsu has a tremendous amount of potential as a special grade sorcerer, and many fans are eager to see more of his abilities in future chapters. Despite not yet being on the level of Gojo or Sukuna, Yuta's unique abilities and prodigious talent make him one of the most promising and powerful characters in the series. Kenjaku. Kenjaku, also known by several aliases including Pseudo-Geto, Fake Geto, and Mr. Monologue, is one of the most dangerous and cunning characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. His primary technique is body hopping, a cursed technique that has allowed him to live for over 1,000 years by jumping from one body to another. This technique not only grants him immortality, but also lets him gain the cursed techniques of the sorcerers whose bodies he inhabits. Additionally, Kenjaku retains the cursed technique from his previous body, allowing him to use multiple techniques simultaneously. Kenjaku is a master of cursed spirit manipulation, surpassing even Geto himself. He is not only able to fully exploit the potential of maximum Uzumaki, but has also demonstrated the ability to create a mini Uzumaki, a smaller but still potent version of the technique. These mini Uzumakis are incredibly powerful, as shown when Kenjaku used them to deliver the final blow to Yuki Tsukumo, a special grade sorcerer. He also utilized Uzumaki to initiate the culling games by using idol transfiguration to activate the reincarnated sorcerers and execute various other complex tasks. In addition to his innovations with Uzumaki, Kenjaku revealed that cursed spirit manipulation users can reinforce cursed spirits with their own cursed energy, significantly boosting their power. This ability was showcased in his fight against Choso, where even the weakest cursed spirits became formidable opponents. Besides cursed spirit manipulation and body hopping, Kenjaku can also use anti-gravity system, a technique he gained from one of his previous bodies. This technique allows him to resist gravity, which is how he survived a black hole attack. However, Kenjaku prefers to use its cursed technique reversal, which imposes heavy gravity on anyone within his immediate vicinity. Kenjaku also possesses a domain expansion called Womb Profusion, though not much is known about it. What is known is that it is a barrierless domain that exerts a tremendous force on anyone within its radius. Kenjaku serves as the mastermind behind many of the major events in the world of Jujutsu. For over 1,000 years, he has been meticulously planning and orchestrating the culling games, creating binding vows with sorcerers, and systematically eliminating Six Eyes users. Yuki. Yuki is one of the most mysterious special grade sorcerers in Jujutsu Kaisen, and unfortunately, we know the least about her compared to the other special grades. Her primary curse technique is known as Star Rage, or Bombay, depending on the translation. This technique allows Yuki to give herself virtual mass, which essentially lets her hit with the force of something far heavier than she actually is, without suffering from the negative effects that would typically come with such mass. This ability makes her strikes incredibly powerful, strong enough to punch through 2 arms and disrupt the repeating cycle of the Star Corridor with a single blow. Yuki can also apply this technique to her Shikigami, Garuda, which can act independently or follow her commands. Garuda has been seen transforming into different forms, such as a soccer ball, a whip, and even being used as a restraint. Kenjaku, the antagonist, mentions that due to the nature of Yuki's technique, she can ignore certain concepts, implying that opposing cursed techniques have no way to counteract the mass she applies to herself or Garuda. In addition to Star Rage, Yuki possesses other abilities such as Simple Domain and the use of Reverse Curse technique. While she also has a domain expansion, it is never revealed in the series. However, Yuki is one of the rare characters whose technique could potentially surpass the power of her own domain expansion. Her ultimate trump card is the ability to turn herself into a black hole. When she does this, her body gains so much mass that it loses its ability to maintain form, leading to her death. Kenjaku states that if it weren't for Master Tengen's barrier and Yuki holding back the full power of the black hole, it could have consumed the entire world. In addition to her cursed technique, Yuki was also a plasma star vessel, which granted her the ability to hear all the other vessels inside Tengen. Tragically, all that remains of Yuki now is a research book about souls, marking the end of her contributions to the series. Despite her limited appearances, Yuki's abilities and her mysterious past leave a lasting impact on the story of Jujutsu Kaisen.